Welcome to our microtalk on the recent amendments to Rule 35d-1 under the Investment Company Act of 1940. I'm Leslie Cruz, and I'm in the Corporate and Securities Practice Group here at Mayer Brown. Today, I'll cover the basics of the rule amendments, starting with the who of the matter. Exactly who is covered by this amended rule. The rule applies to registered investment companies of all types. It also applies to business development companies. So let's roll on to the when. So the rule was first adopted back in 2001. It was amended in September of this year, has an effective date of December 10th of this year. The compliance dates are split. Larger fund groups, meaning funds with other investment companies within the same group of related investment companies that have net assets of $1 billion or more as of the end of the most recent fiscal year, have 24 months to comply. Their compliance date is December 10th, 2025. All other funds have 30 months after the effective date to comply, meaning their compliance date is June 10th, 2026. So why have the rule at all? Well, the rule overall aims to prevent funds from using misleading names. The amendments were designed to address developments in fund naming conventions and trends since the rule was adopted back in 2001. And ESG fund naming was a contributing factor. So what do the amendments do? The amendments expand the scope of the rule to cover names with terms suggesting that the fund focuses on investments or issuers of investments that have particular characteristics. So unlike under the prior version of the rule, now included are names with value, growth, income, ESG, and similar naming conventions. Out of scope are names that just simply indicate a fund's investment objectives, something like balanced, global, hedged, international, short, long, or a retirement target. Keep in mind, however, that even if the rule doesn't specifically apply, Section 35d of the Act prohibits misleading fund names. And there, of course, are also general anti-fraud provisions of the Act and other federal securities laws. So we still have an 80% policy requirement, just like under the prior version of the rule, and it still needs to be fundamental, or the fund needs to adopt a policy to provide shareholders with 60 days notice of a change in the policy. The funds now have to correct temporary deviations as soon as possible, but no more than 90 days after identification. Funds can deviate due to repositioning or liquidations in connection with a reorganization, a fund launch, which is a maximum of 180 days from commencement of operations, or when the notice of the change has been provided to shareholders in accordance with the rule. Now, funds also need to conduct quarterly reviews and time of investment testing. The amendments provide some guidance for funds with derivatives in their portfolio, which is helpful because most funds now have derivatives exposures in their portfolio. The amended rule also now sets out specific requirements for shareholder notices and includes more specific requirements for unlisted closed-end funds and BDCs. The amendments were adopted along with changes to disclosure requirements. In fund registration statements, funds need to define the terms used in their name and need to describe the specific criteria used to select relevant investments. There are also new Form N-Port disclosures for registered management investment companies and ETFs organized as UITs. There are some exceptions. There are also new record-keeping requirements. So to learn more, please visit our Free Writings and Perspectives blog. Thanks so much for joining this microtalk, and have a great day.